right on the fan. Let's see, put you guys way up in the air. Go over to here, click refresh. Let's check this out. Go to the YouTube channel. All right, so it looks like we are officially live. And I'm gonna mute this and I'll be right back. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's see how this goes. Welcome to chat, remember your guard. I wish I knew more about this, because from my perspective, I can't even see like who is viewing, who's watching. I wonder if there's a way for me to like, can I analytics this? Is that? No. Okay, but I want to see more. If anybody's there, welcome in. I'm trying to figure out how to look at this from a streamer's perspective. Thanks for the update. Thank you for that. Can you hear me all right, is my question, because I have the mic on, but I cannot tell if it's working. I'm just going to assume. Beautiful. Is it too loud or are you good? All right, well, we can do this. So, for everybody that is in here, this is my Voron 2.4 R2 Rev D. This is the 350 millimeter build. I did pre-open this because FedEx dropped the package. Yeah. So they dropped this box and then they tried to pick this one up and then drop this one, of course. So I am going to go through this one first because this is the unexciting box. This is just the build plate and all the normal stuff like that. So LDO did a great job packaging all this, which I'm very happy about. So this is our 350 millimeter build kit. This has our giant build plate. This thing is massive. I'll grab my Bamboo Lab build plate just for a sheer size comparison. Well, this is actually the Anycubic, but it is massive compared to that. It's huge. It's amazing. I'm excited to print some giant stuff on this. Now, last time I built a Voron, I built a V0.2. It wasn't the best build experience. I definitely chose a cheaper kit just because, and I kind of regretted that decision. So hopefully this LDO kit can keep up with everything, but oh my God. That's a thick chunk of aluminum. Jeez, it's huge. This thing is heavy. I'm gonna weigh this real quick on my scale right here. Let's pull this over here to you guys. Set the scale up here and set this build plate there. I'll drop these on the floor. My trash pile's getting a little bit too heavy or too big. All right, let's put this scale on here. Let's see if you guys can see that. The stream's a little bit behind. It's probably backwards, but I'll just lightly set this on here. This is pounds and ounces. 10 pounds, 7.5 ounces. That's massive for a chunk of aluminum. I see why this thing doesn't go up and down on the x-axis or z-axis. That makes sense. It'd be too heavy. All right, this is our panel kit. This should have all of our plastic paneling. I actually didn't open and check this one, so hopefully everything looks good in here. And you guys are seeing this for the first time, just like I am. Wow, LDO does a lot better job than the other company that I used last time. And the last time I used Ficetic, it was a cheap kit. I can't really complain. You pay for what you get, or you get what you pay for. Wow, there's not a whole lot to this, obviously. It's just plastic paneling and it's wrapped. These are like one of the very last steps of the Voron build. So I'll leave them in here and just kind of set this off to the side. Oh man, this is heavy too. I think this is about another 10, 15 pounds. No, I'll set it under here. All right, so this fat chunk of aluminum, I'm just gonna set right here for now with this box. I'll set it underneath as well, just so I don't break it. Oh my God, why is it so heavy? It's a workout in itself. All right, now we can check out this box. This is This is the exciting box. This is the box that has everything. This is the one that was dropped from like 4 feet. So hopefully there's no issues. I did open it to check it out, but once I saw it was all pre-packaged individually, I wasn't too worried. This is our E3D 0.4, 0.6 kit. Those are hot end nozzle pack. If you're curious, I think this is a Dragon high flow. I can't remember exactly. So your heat break or your thing, and then you have your nozzles. I believe the red's the 0.4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Cool. And then this must be thermistor and heater. Yep. Okay. I'll set this off to the side. One of the first things you do with the Voron is the what do you call it? The tool head. So we'll get right into the tool head pretty quick when we do start building this. Have our this is DIN rail and panel panduit. We got a cool little document thing from LDO Motors. This just shows everything that should be in the kit. You also get a kit number, which is pretty cool. It's a little metal tag. I don't know if this is important or not, but that's pretty cool. And then LDO stickers and memorabilia, all that fun stuff. LDO does a really good job with this, and I think this is a whole sticker page. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool to see. I held it up there for too long because I was waiting for it to show in stream. And then a calendar, which I don't care about. And then a bookmark. Honey, if you want to come grab a bookmark, I know you're on the stream right there. You can come grab this if you want. This is pretty cool. I read on a Kindle mostly in my phone, so it sounds like she's coming. I can't tell. And another LDO sticker. These will go on the printer at some point, and that's just inside this LDO documentation stuff. So, kind of set that off to the side. And there will be a YouTube video made on this at some point, but we're gonna see. This should be our power supply. This should be a 24 volt preset. Nope, it's set to 230. So we need to set that to 120. Where's a screwdriver? The one thing I have tons of. We'll use the thing we're not supposed to. So if you guys have never done a Voron, there is a power switch selector in there, and that tells you what voltage you're running. So we want to run on 120. or 115 is what it says. And we just click that over and we're running at 115. Sorry about that. All right, set this off to the side. That's one of the very last things you get to. I think I'm gonna take just everything out of this box and set it on the counter because this box is in my way. It's making a lot of noise that I don't like. Jeez, why is it so heavy? Everything's so heavy. Ugh. LDO does a great job packaging this. I'm really impressed. My expectations were exceeded by far. And if you guys are curious, this is the Rev D kit. And that's basically just the Leviathan mainboard, and then it should be the CAN bus board and input shaping, I believe. But I can't remember for sure. I'd have to look that up again. All right, so here's all the boxes that we're gonna go through. Let's start with this little thing. Power cord, well, that wasn't exciting. This is the LDO 2.4 kit electronics part. This is all of your connectors, all of your different DIN mounts, timers, relays, whatever this is. This is just a relay block, right? Yeah, it's just a 120 in, 24 to 220 in. Different things. Here's my Raspberry Pi. This was ordered from Fabrico, and Fabrico does include the Raspberry Pi board. I'm a little confused whether there's a BTT in here. That's a little confusing to me. And that's what this is. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Is this a Raspberry Pi? Hey, I got one of these from my first Voron. It looks like Ducky's coming back to this. He's a little messed up. Poor little guy. There we go. We saved him. He'll be in the corner. So this, I don't know what this is. This must be a Raspberry Pi. No, that looks like a Pi mount. What is this? Pi standoffs, ribbon cable. Oh, it's the screen. Oh, okay. I'm just dumb. That's fine. So that's the 3.5-inch touchscreen. Just get this back in the box here. Don't want to damage that. That would be a real bad day. Get these standoffs, ribbon cable back in there, and then I'll throw this. So that's cool. All right, let's see. I've only had a 3D printer for a week, and it's a Bamboo A1 Mini. Is Voron a good next step, and is it possible to put one together knowing next to nothing? Well, Jay, I would say do your research first. So I am technically, how do you say that? I'm technically inclined and mechanically inclined. I built my first Voron knowing absolutely nothing, but that was after ripping apart multiple Ender 3s, Ender 3 Pros, Anycubic, doing a lot of maintenance and stuff on printers. These two A1 Minis over here get you into the world of 3D printing, and I think they're great, but they don't teach you the important stuff about 3D printing, which is how to do general troubleshooting and maintenance fixes. So if you follow along through this build, you will see at some point, this is a blank Raspberry Pi, it's just a little computer, and you have to program this completely yourself. You have to upload all the firmware, all of the code, have it communicate with your LCD screen as well as any other Leviathan mainboard like this is your motherboard. So these two work in tandem. You have to make sure your IP addresses match, your addresses for everything. It's very intimidating, but there is a lot of good stuff on GitHub. Plus, I don't have it out right now. I usually on the computer have a, what do you want to call it? There's a really long document that Voron puts out. It's like an instruction manual on how to assemble these, and it walks you through step by step, except I do not believe it covers the Clipper setup and mainboard setup. I think you just have to follow the GitHub for that. And it can be a pretty steep learning curve. If you do decide to build a Voron, I definitely would start with a smaller, more inexpensive one. Maybe get a kit from like FormBot, just because they're a little bit cheaper, but they also still do a really nice job, and they have some pretty good tech that comes with this stuff. So that's what I would say. I would say if you're unsure, do a lot of research, because this build's probably gonna take 40, 50 hours, maybe even longer than that. And then at the end of it, there's like a 20% chance the printer doesn't even work until I go through all the troubleshooting steps. So just take that as you will. I'm not saying yay or nay, I'm saying do some research, because it's intimidating. Anyways, that's the LDO 2.4 kit, or the wiring kit. Here's box 2 of that. I'm curious, they said they sent a bunch of what is this? End stop PCBs. I thought it used sensorless. That's okay. So these are PCBs for the end stops. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's see if I can open this. And this is where it gets intimidating for a lot of people, Jay. Right here. You know, they just send these in the box. And granted, they do have some good documentation, but you know, how comfortable are you with wiring up something like that? You know what I mean? And you have to address this properly. This looks like a tool head board. So, I mean, it's pretty tiny, and I have absolutely no idea what it does at this point in time. So hopefully I figure it out. 24 volt probe ground. So I'm assuming that this is for like the clicky probe and all that stuff, which I believe these are printed parts for the Leviathan bracket, the NH adapter, the DIN clip, chin anchors, splitter spacers, bed waggle mounts, and the stealth burner LED diffuser. Okay, this is just some included parts for the LDO kit specifically. You wouldn't get those if you ordered a different kit. And yeah, this came out of the tool head bag, so they do label everything for you to follow through, but you do have to kind of know what's going on. Realistically, it's all trial error until something cool happens, or bad, one of the two, usually bad. VHB tape, and then this also houses some of your screws. This is for the nozzle wiper. This is the clicky probe, or clicky kit, which is interesting. Where's the clicky part? Oh, it's just an Omron switch. Okay. So that's what's in box number 2 for the electronic stuff. Just the, that's mainly tool board stuff, or tool head and end stops. So that's cool. Definitely way better package than the last one. This is a Leviathan mainboard. This is your, this is specifically made by LDO for the Voron 2.4. I don't know if they made it for other printers. I'm sure they did. This is just for specifically from LDO. And this is your main board that your Raspberry Pi connects to, and Clipper is uploaded on this guy to run Clipper. Belts, chains, fans is the next box. Some gates. What is this, a 6mm and a 9? 6 and a 9. This is the part that I tried printing and I just did a terrible job. These are cable chains. So you can print your own, or you can buy these from AliExpress. They're super cheap if you want to self-source everything. I do recommend a kit for most people just because it's a way easier than going through, and it's usually about the same price, if not a little cheaper. LDO motors, fans, tool head fan. I have no idea. Rubber foot. Okay, that's apparently in here with the cable chains. And another small belt loop. Huh, I don't know what that's for. That's small. Yeah, I mean, pretty simple stuff. And it all comes labeled. So this is for the Nevermore filter. It's the filtering kit. And it just includes the things you need to install it. I believe I printed all the parts for that already. They should be in those boxes that you guys see right there. Well, that didn't go. It's fine. It's fine. All right, here's the motor kit. Wow. So for the Rev D kit, you get 4 LDO 2004 ACs. So these should be stepper motors. I don't know what that is, but these are, so LDO motors, if you don't know who they are a manufacturer. Are some of the best manufacturers of stepper motors and motors in generals and fans. They do really good job. Helps a lot with motor wind too. There's one problem you'll see with a lot of Vorons is when you self-source a lot of cheaper motor parts is you get a lot of motor whine. So I'm hoping the stepper motors or the stepper chips in here help with motor whine, and then these motors as well should significantly help with motor whine, because that's one of the most annoying things for sure when you build a Voron. Our ducky's still a little messed up. Let's see. Oh, okay. He had to split. Now let's go to, supposedly you can see how many people are watching. I have 7 people watching. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, actually I don't know how to do this very well. How much do one of those kits cost? So David, one of these kits, okay, so there's a caveat to that. I bought what was considered the nicest kit you could buy, and I spent $1,300 on the largest Voron printer you could buy in a kit. They have 250 millimeters, they have 300 and 350. They also have the V0, which is a 120 millimeter build volume. They also have the Voron switch wire, which is an Ender 3 clone, but like significantly better because it runs Clipper. And that's like a 220 by 220. And then you have the Voron Trident, which maxes out at 350, 350, 250, but it goes all the way down to 250 by 250 and then 300 by 250. And then this is the 2.4. This kit starts with LDO, I believe, right around like the $900 or $800 mark. And then if you want to go to companies like Formbot or Physetic, Seabor, you can start getting into like the $600, $700 range, but just remember you get what you pay for. If you can afford an LDO kit, I would highly recommend it. Just from seeing the packaging and the way everything's labeled and done, LDO knocks it out of the park so far. This has been really nice. Even though I haven't built anything yet, which hopefully I do get to soon. But yeah, I spent about $1,300 on this. So they do include Bondtech genuine parts. Usually if you buy cheaper kits, you don't get Bondtech genuine, you get Bondtech ripoff, which is fine. It works, just, you know, Bondtech has a reputation for being some of the best. What is this? What is this for? Motion. Well, that's not great. Motion. So these are just all your idler bearings. I don't know what that's for. That's interesting. These are just hex shafts, which is weird. I don't know what oh, they're keyed shafts for motors. Oh, okay. Lots of bearings and couplers. Usually they'll come pre-assembled. So if you don't know what these are, these go on the end of your motors here, and that's what grips the belts. Usually these come pre-attached most of the time on the cheaper kits. And I think it's just because they're using recycled parts. And then here's our carriage spindles. These are pretty cool. These are nice. These are made by LDO. They're stamped and everything. All this is really nice machined aluminum. I'm trying to see if there's anything specific in here that I'm missing, but it doesn't look like it. Just a lot of small metal parts for the motors, and some sandpaper, which worries me a little bit. I don't like sanding metal near a printer, but let's move on to the next box. Yeah, it's pretty stressful. I'm not gonna lie. The first Voron I built, I probably spent, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days building. I don't know. My wife could probably I think we might have spent 5 or 6 days building it. And then I probably spent another like 2 weeks troubleshooting it. Finally got it to print, and then I sold it for more than I bought the kit for. How many of the parts did you need to print? All of them. So you can see this stack of boxes right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some on the stub. Well, I should take that back. All of the parts that join things together, you have to print, and then all the parts that hold on your side cases, which is your paneling, you have to print. Your filter parts, a lot of your motor like mount housings, kind of like I don't think I have any. Your skirt pieces you have to print. And then like what the motors mount into for tensioning, you have to print as well. And then your tool head you have to print, which one of those boxes over there has it, and I'll open those up. This is fasteners, tools, and miscellaneous. Oh geez, that's intimidating. some PTA, I don't need any of that. Lots of zip ties, and then it tells you, it even gives you some tools, which is pretty cool. Looks like they give you a nice heat set insert. I don't have that kind of heat set insert. I just have a thing that mounts to my, oh no, this might fit. It might fit in that. But yeah, magnets, little tiny torque wrench, not a torque wrench, 1.5 hex. This is pretty cool. You get a little toolkit, but this is kind of what's intimidating. My God. Anodized black handles. You can print your own handles too. You don't have to use these ones. But this is all of the screws, everything you need. And there's just a ton of stuff in there. And oh my God, is that intimidating. There's a lot of it. This bag alone weighs, let's see how much she weighs, because this is interesting. I got to get it back to pounds. I think I accidentally pressed it. This bag of just this, so this is a bag of just like heat set inserts, your cage bolts, carrier bolts, screws, different things to hold everything together. It's 4 pounds 6 ounces of just screws. There's like thousands of screws in there, man. I don't like that. So hopefully I asked the question of how many things you have to, or answered the question of how many things you have to print. It really depends. You can also buy kits with all the printed parts, and if you don't want to pay the money for all of the parts, you can message me at failedtreedprints@gmail.com, and I will print stuff for you at the same cost that I would pay to print them. If you guys want to, if you don't want to pay the exorbitant amount that people charge for kit prints. I have ABS and ASA, and I can help people out if they need help with that stuff. It's not hard for me to do. We open that, we open this. Let's do the cable kit real quick. Now this, I'm assuming, should be all of the pre-cut wiring. So LDO is one of the only ones that does this. They pre-cut all of your wiring for you and terminate it. Some people like that. I kind of don't like that because like I have all the stuff to do it already. But they do pre-cut and pre-wire everything. And I'll just pull one of these out. And I think they even label it too. Yes, this is the HV. So like it's already pre-cut, pre-terminated, and labeled. So I mean, that's pretty cool. And it says to motherboard high volt or HV. And that could mean a couple things. To me, that means high volt, but it could be heater. I don't know. We'll have to, at some point I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, that's nice if you don't want to deal with any of that and you're not wiringly inclined, I guess. And then same thing here, pre-terminated, pre-made, and then they also label everything on the front of the bag so you can get part of that as well. So you understand what everything is and for. This must be the tool head cables. Yeah, I thought this was CAN bus though. Or at least USB. What in the actual hell is that? Okay. What is this? It's not, I mean, it just says yes. Okay. Yes what? Oh, this one says sex. Nope, XES. I think this is like Y end stop, X end stop, and then there should be a Z end stop. Okay, well the Z is not labeled, which is common. Usually they don't do that. All right. And this is your, what is this? This is a Molex V2.4350. There's not enough signal wire here to do that. What is this, a 4-pin out? 5-pin out, and I don't see a 4-pin out over here. One of those must be ground? I'm assuming this is your USB tool head for CAN bus. I'll have to figure that out later, because it's missing, what is that? Prox switch, this must be for auto bed leveling. I am not a fan of auto bed leveling with an inductive probe. I don't like that, so I will be immediately swapping to the clicky probe that they sent with this kit. I'm not a big fan of that at all. That's actually why I threw away my first Anycubic printer. So, you know, not a big fan. So that's cool. now we get to look at this linear rail kit and this fancy stuff over here. There's a lot more to this 350 kit than I thought there was. There's a lot of stuff here. Anybody have any questions so far? What boxes? Come on, those are just handles. Any more questions? Try and answer them the best I can. I don't know what this is. No idea. I know it does something, but I don't know what. Let's look at our stainless steel linear rail kit. I am very curious. So I'm guessing the 12H is for the tool head to go on, which should be pretty cool. Wow. That's fancy. Oh man, these are some nice ones too. These are LDO branded. The last ones I got, which were rip-off MG9s, had grinding in them from the start, and it was a pain to make it move smoothly, so this is nice to see. Yeah, and then they're just rails. That's all they are, just linear rails. Nothing special. These are your carriage ones, and then I'm guessing this one's your tool head one, the larger one. You have to be pretty careful with these. I know I'm not being careful right here, but you do have to be pretty careful with them. Damaging them is very easy. If you drop them or something and they chip, you're kind of just out of luck at that point. But yeah, don't do that. And they're not necessarily cheap to replace. I think some of the most expensive parts are these rails. So that's kind of discouraging, especially if you have a 350 millimeter, because that's huge travel space. And then this says frame kit. I got it in gray. I ordered it in black originally, but it was going to take till the end of February to ship from Matter Hackers, so I got it in gray. So this printer will be gray. Oh wow, that looks nice. Okay, I'm not so mad. This printer is going to be gray, black accents, or black frame parts, and then purple accents. So she's going to look nice. And that looks really clean. Very happy with that. I am a little disappointed I didn't get black, but at the same time, like, this looks really good. These are corner braces. I mean, that's pretty much, I think that's it in the kit. There's nothing else, at least not that I can see, that I'm missing. Voron build plate down there, and then the paneling. Yeah, I think we got it all. So, I don't really know what to do from here on. I could start breaking out. I could start breaking out all of the individual pieces and parts, or I could go through my 3D printed parts. How about that? And you can see them all. And then I'll probably end this stream here. I really didn't plan to stream for that long. I really just wanted to unbox this and actually start this project. I'll probably stream all of the build process and then upload separate videos later. So let's sort these pieces out. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can. Okay, you can see them just fine. Kind of. I need to... They're too high. I'll get them over here. So I did the one thing you're not supposed to do when you're printing Voron parts, and I mixed them all together because I'm just dumb. I was lazy, and I didn't feel like doing the thing. So you're going to see, this was about 25 build plates worth of stuff on a P1S, and I have 4 P1Ss, so printing this wasn't too difficult. But yeah, we'll go through these so you guys can see them all. There's a lot of them. What's in this one? Okay, and these were extra pieces that I didn't know whether or not I had 12s or 9s, but it looks like I needed them anyways. So, where do I even start? This is the tool head box. There's about 300 grams of filament there, and these are all individual tool head and accent pieces. So the accent pieces on the Voron thing, like this is the original screen for the Voron 2.4 before Rev C, I believe. So I have to print a new one of these already. So that sucks. But yeah, a lot of this is just like cable tray type stuff. And another thing, I'm using the stealth burner on this one, and at one point I might actually switch this and use a tool changer, and I'll probably do the stealth changer if I'm being honest, but that's the tool head, and Let's see if I can get this together right here. There we go. So if you're looking at it from the front, or from the side, it'd have this black accent, and then your hot end comes down right here, and then all your wiring is pre-made into this, or at least there's channels for it. The Voron design team does a great job. Can't complain at all. They do a wonderful job at this. This thing looks pretty cool. Yeah, and it does, and there is, if you want to do like multiple different tool heads, they print different tool head bottoms here. So you can use, like, for instance, a Bamboo Lab tool head, which I've used before, or like their nozzles, I mean. But yeah, that's just all accent pieces. If you look at like the Voron webpage, what a Voron 2.4 looks like, all the pieces you see in red are the accent pieces, and that's what's in this box. This box right here has mainly skirt pieces in it. These are what go around the very bottom of the printer. This is the housing for the thingy, the screen. And then this is just more skirt pieces and things like that, which probably should go over there with the skirt pieces. And of course, if you're doing like a large printer like this, there's more parts to print, obviously. If you do a smaller one, there's less parts to print. So if anybody does want to build one, and you have any questions or you need help with anything, you can join my Discord down below, which it's probably not in the description, but you can join it, and it's free. You guys can ask questions on there about any 3D printing stuff you have or need answers to, and I'll help you out as best I can. But yeah, this is just skirt parts. And of course, you guys can print these in whatever color you want. It doesn't have to be black. I just chose that because it was going to be a black printer. Is this my Sunlu ones? I think these are my Sunlu ones. These ones warped, didn't they? Yep. So I printed some parts in Sunlu ABS, and I couldn't get it to not warp. So, yeah. That looks like Bamboo ABS, and it is. She's looking good too. This is the fan housing parts with some electrical clips in it. This is for that Nevermore filter mod that I'm gonna do. And then this is just general electronics. This is all of like your motor mounts, A mount, B mounts, and C mounts, nozzle or filament spool. I do plan to add a box turtle to this for anybody that doesn't know what a box turtle is. It's basically just a 4-color AMS, but since it's open source, you could make it 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever you can build or fit. So I'll probably be doing that at some point. If not doing the tool changer, one of the two will happen. And these are just motor mounts and panel mount stuff. Nothing special, just a lot of it. If you do want to build these, just know you need roughly like 1.5 spools of your primary color, and then 1/3 of a spool for your accent color. So realistically, you need 3 different spools, and you use about 2 kilograms of filament, roughly. Anywhere from 2 to 2.5, depending on the mods you want to do and every add-on you choose to do. It really depends. These are all idler parts, belt mounts, all of the fun stuff that you don't really see. I do have a support to take out, but that's all. There's not a whole lot to cover here. It's kind of hard because I don't remember which parts went where. So hopefully when I'm building it, I'll have everything separated out beforehand. But yeah, I don't know what else to do. Does anybody have any questions before I end this thing and clean up, sort of? I don't even know where to start. I do have to go get the... What's it called? The instruction manual. There's an instruction manual you follow that I need to go download and put on my laptop here so I can follow along. I think it's like close to 150, 200 pages, I believe. So there is a really in-depth thing that you can follow to do this. But if nobody has any questions, I think I'm just gonna call it here for this quick little stream, and then slightly panic while I try and figure out the best place to start this. There's a lot of steps to this, and I'm not gonna lie, the build process is gonna be extremely boring for people watching, because it's a lot of fishing tiny little M3 nuts or lock nuts into grooves on the frame panels, the frame kit, and hoping you line them up. And this thing, when it's all said and done, will probably weigh close to like 60, 70 pounds. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's already 15 pounds in weight just in the build plate and the screws used to put this thing together. So yeah, this is gonna be heavy. So moving this thing around is not gonna be easy. I did build this table right here specifically for big printers like this. Maybe one day we'll add a rat rig. But there will also be an unboxing and build of my Prusa MK4S that I will do as well. That is coming. It shipped like a week ago, so it should be here like next week or the week after, but it's coming from the Czech Republic, so I don't know. But yeah, down in the description of this, at the end of this, because I'm just going to post this to YouTube for people to see, there will be a link to Discord, there's a link to Patreon, you can check out the Etsy store. I discounted my Etsy store by 50% from original, and I'm just trying to sell out of all my stock. So if you want to go do that, that's cool. If you have any custom things you want printed fairly large or need help printing anything, just reach out to me either on Discord, or you can hit me up at failedtreeprints@gmail.com and send me whatever you want. And then, yeah, I don't really have much more to say. But thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful night. And I'm gonna go, I don't know what I'm a little overwhelmed here, not gonna lie. I'm excited, but also terrified that this will never work. But thanks everybody, peace, thanks for watching, all that fun stuff. And I have no idea how to end the stream. I think I have to climb up on the table and end it with my phone. And I'm 6'2" and the ceiling's 8 feet, and I can't reach you guys. Yeah, it's okay. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.